Are we on?
I don't know.
We're on. Welcome to the CCO Pre-Show for episode 464.
464?
That's it.
Holy shit.
We are here brought to you by the Patreon supporters over at patreon.com/CCO podcast.
Whether they like it or not.
Yes, sir. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about today on the regular show, but we're going to take a little bit of a different line on the pre-show.
Are we?
Well,
What are we going to do?
so we've been talking a lot about foundations. That's what we're talking about tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm excited for Foundation. Are you excited for Foundation?
Let's
give a little teaser. I'm excited.
I actually am, yeah.
Yeah.
And not just for, not just from a commander standpoint, but I really liked, back in the day, I liked Core Set Limited because it felt so, stereotypical and just kind of grounded, regular-ass fantasy.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight my elf with your zombie, right?
Yep. Your goblins are coming. Yeah,
Exactly, right? And just simple's the wrong word because that's reductive and makes it sound bad. But
Yeah.
it was simpler times and it was just fun and I liked it. And I think Foundations is going to be a good long while of that kind of thing without being dumbed down or simplified too much.
I'm really excited that it's doing something that's never been done before in Magic, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. So you have to watch tomorrow.
Yeah, hey, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's
okay.
something that I don't think's ever actually been done before in Magic, which is cool.
Okay.
I'm excited to see how it works out, and the set looks really cool. And there's lots of things that I want with borderless treatments on cards that I like.
Yes.
Even the Jumpstart cards look
Yes.
pretty cool.
And
they got some new product designs coming out with it, which I think are kind of a neat idea.
Yep.
Instead of doing starter decks and all that kind of stuff.
Look
and,
at you
starter
go.
Things. It's really cool. I think that Foundations is a really good idea. I'm glad it's going to be around for a while, and I'm excited to see how it impacts the game as a whole. I think it's all positive.
I agree with all of that. Here's what I thought you were going to do. Producer Gary's going to agree. This is what I thought you were going to do.
Okay.
I hate it. That's what I was expecting. With a lot more of this.
I hate it.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I thought. But today, right now, we are really quick initial look, a few minute look at 2025.
Oh, man.
We missed the unveiling of all of this because it was in Las Vegas. And we're kind of doing the catch up for Las Vegas, FOMO, missing out, unpacking it all, because you know how it works on the main stage when you're watching the cosplay show and the new products and the spoilers and all the stuff that they do, right? They smash it down your throat and everybody's like, yeah,
I'm so excited. I have no excitement left to give. And then once he stops for a minute, we'll get some more. And then come back.
Hey, the ATMs are just out in the hall.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we are looking at, I'm going to read it through here, 2025. We got Aether Drift.
That's Skylanders. For those of us who,
well, yeah, it's motorbike racing.
Yeah.
Motorbike racing, Aether Drift. Tarkir Dragonstorm. Do you think that the card Dragonstorm is going to be in the set?
If it's not, they've really missed out.
Because sometimes they do that, and it's like when in a movie, the name of the movie is spoken in the movie,
yeah, I
right?
like that.
When they do the name of the card in the set that the card is, and it's this is the moment. Anyways,
I'd be willing to bet that Dragonstorm would be a special guest for that set.
Yeah.
10 cards. I'll bet you that's what
yeah,
we'll see.
you can't just, because Dragonstorm has Storm, and you can't just drop Storm into any frickin' set.
Well, with Dragonstorm, you might be able to. It costs 7
or 9 or something.
Yeah, it's not like it has, in limited. What are you gonna get? You're gonna get one guy with it. On turn 9.
Yeah,
it probably
exactly.
doesn't cost 9.
Yeah, I wonder if it would wreck standard in any way, shape, or form. Because Tarkir's going to have other dragons to go and get with your Dragonstorm.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is very
Imagine
true.
that limited pool. Hey, you open up 2 mythic dragons and a Dragonstorm, and it's Ooh, I guess this is my deck. Anyways, then we got Final Fantasy in June. That's like the main summer set in the same slot as Lord of the Rings was last year.
And where are we going to be for that, Ryan? Where are we going to be? Where will we physically be located when that happens?
At a Magic Con?
Yeah.
Which Magic Con is that?
Vegas.
Is that Vegas? Is in June?
Is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I think am I the only one that's excited to go to Vegas when it's like 52 degrees outside?
No, but everybody complains about that.
I'm going to be naked laying on the asphalt in the parking lot instead of playing games.
I'm so excited. I invite everybody who complains about the Vegas heat to come to frickin' Saskatoon in January and lay in a parking lot with no clothes on, a la Uncle Brando.
Yeah.
And see if you're complaining about the heat then. It's like the girl I used to work with from, she was from Nova Scotia. And she was like, well, yeah, no, we don't get minus 42, but we get like minus 22, but it's like a cold heat. You're like, or cold heat.
Cold.
It's a wet cold. You go outside and it's like you're wet and you chill to the bone. Right? And I'm like, yeah, okay. You say that when you go out for your fucking smoke break when it's minus 50. Yeah, and she's like, oh, no, it's fine.
Funnily enough, when it's minus 44 here or plus 44 somewhere else, you get the same amount of burns on your flesh from the air, which is neat.
Yeah, so she goes out for her smoke break one time in frickin' January after Christmas break, and she's like, oh, my God, I was so wrong.
Yeah, I am leaving.
Yeah, I'm going back. Yeah, anyways.
What's after Final Fantasy?
This is the one I'm most excited for of all of these. This is Edge of Eternities. Ooh,
that's the one that has the picture of
Tezzeret
in it. He's kind of out in. I know that it's not space, but he's in space.
Well, no, and that's I asked this question on Commander ad Populum to myself, and I think he is in space. It's not I don't think it's the Blind Eternities because there's like black holes and galaxies and.
Are they finally admitting that the Blind Eternities is just space?
I still think it's like the space in between space.
That would be so nice.
But Tezzeret, and he's frickin' going to a different galaxy, and he's fighting aliens. Like, we have gone full sci-fi here.
Do you think we'll get Alien? Have we had a rated R IP? Yes, we have. Walking Dead. It's a rated R IP, hey?
What if we get Predator versus Alien?
That'd be cool.
That'd be freaking cool.
Well, they're still around, hey? Like, Alien movie just came out last year. Predator
just had a movie last year, too. The one, like, that goes way back in time.
Oh, Prey! That was a great movie, too. That
can
was
you imagine AVP Secret Lair?
I would...
AVP.
I would look into that. That would certainly
That'd be cool. Can you imagine... Can you imagine fucking Arnold on a secret lair? What the fuck are you? You are one ugly motherfucker. Can you imagine those secret lairs?
Can you imagine if they just did like the Sliver Queen art, but it's the Queen alien and everybody gets so excited, but then it's just Ant Queen? Oh, because Sliver Queen's on the reserve list.
No, hey, this represents a perfect opportunity to say right to print secret lair style skirts the reserve list. Just like they did with the From the Vaults, and they made foils. With the foil Mox Diamond, the foil Karn, and the foil Memory Jar.
Yeah?
Yeah, now they're not going to do that.
They're not, yeah.
But imagine if they were like, there is no language on this, so we did it. Yeah. And collectors could get those things.
And they just said, and fuck yourselves about it. And that would definitely
And then after, like a month later, they would say, we recognize that this is the integrity of the reserve list, so we're going to update the reserve list to say blah, 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 right? But that's like them asking for forgiveness, right? Or begging for forgiveness after they've just done the thing. And I hope that they do the thing. Yeah, like, come on, give us the Sliver Queen, Alien Queen.
You know what they do instead of like changing anything or asking for forgiveness? They just unban Jeweled Lotus the next week after everybody was mad. Ooh. And then everybody would forget that it happened.
Ooh, and then give us a Predator holding a skull, a crystal skull. Jeweled Lotus Secret Lair also.
That'd be neat.
Because excitement.
Yes.
Come on, man. We got good ideas.
Yeah, we're the best at
We got freaking good ideas.
Yeah, we're very good at this. What's the next set after space?
Space, Spider-Man. And I think I saw in a comment on YouTube or somewhere on Twitter that they are doing like the multiverse Spider-Man. So we will see Spider-Man across a bunch of different places.
That'll be fun. I think it's like what we talked about. You'll see Spider-Man on Tarkir. We'll see Spider-Man in Ravnica. We'll see Spider-Man. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
I'm a big Spider-Man fan too, so I think that's gonna be cool. That's the Marvel IP that I was kind of excited for, and seeing it get its own like set essentially is pretty cool. I'm cautiously optimistic about
There
that
you
one.
go.
I think it's going to be neat.
I want to see Spider-Man get like the Fibblethip treatment, where they put him in a bunch of precarious places around like Magic Cons, and they put him in different sets and secret layers, and they let him do a bunch of different things, all of which he can do because he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that that's cool. I don't know how I feel about the potential that we're seeing Spider-Man. Then are we going to see Wolverine? Then we're going to see Deadpool. Then we're going to see X-Men. Then we're going to see the Hulk. Then we're going to see Iron Man. I thought that we would maybe just get Marvel and be done with it.
My thought is we're probably, based on there being Spider-Man, I'd imagine we're going to get an X-Men, we're going to get an Avengers, and we'll get, like, maybe, do you think Guardians of the Galaxy maybe? No, I don't think they're big enough.
No.
You will get Guardians of the Galaxy along with Edge of Eternity. I guess we've already had some X-Men Secret Layers, but there's way more money to be made there.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
there
for
will
sure.
be an X-Men set and there will be an Avengers set, and I think that covers most of the really popular
that captures Iron Man and Captain America. It captures the Hulk. It
Thor,
captures,
yeah,
it gets Thor. Yeah, it gets everybody. And Spider-Man's kind of always been his own thing, at least in the MCU, because of this the rights deal with Sony and stuff, right? From like the original Spider-Man movies.
Will we get Venom?
Oh, I hope so.
Because Venom is technically still owned by Sony, the movie rights at least, but the comic book rights are Marvel. So I'd imagine we'll probably get some Venom.
I hope we get Venom. He's cool, man. And
like
and
him
oh,
lots.
could you imagine like doing like meld cards with Venom? Meld would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, flip him over and he's like this big scary Venom, but on the other side he's just Eddie Brock or whatever.
That'd be cool.
It'd be cool. Yeah.
It'd be Eddie Brock melds with symbiote, whatever the thing's name is, and then it turns into Venom.
And he's Venom on the other side. Yeah, and
That'd be
he's
cool.
just like indestructible unless somebody makes a noise. Well, that's how Venom works. He's got like no weakness unless there's like a certain frequency of sound, and he's like, "Wah!"
How would they do that?
If your opponent says, "Well, actually," if your opponent says, "Do you pay the one?" Destroy Venom.
It's a gotcha card. Like you have to say a word. Oh man! Anytime you get
very
gotcha,
good.
destroy Venom. Holy
Yeah,
shit,
very
that would
good,
be-
very
I would
good.
hate myself. And then after Spider-Man, there's a.
UBB, is that Universes Beyond something, right?
I don't know, because that one, it's along with like the regular set. Do you think they go Universes Beyond, Universes Beyond?
I don't know. What's UBB? I'm sure it was announced, or I'm sure it was
Unannounced
like
Universes Beyond.
Unannounced Universes Beyond. Okay, there.
That's what that is.
I bet you it's. Do you think it's the next iteration of Marvel? Do you think
Maybe.
it's He-Man? It's never going to be He-Man.
Yes, it'll
It'll
never
never
be
be He-Man. But man, it would be cool if it was He-Man.
He-Man would be the coolest.
Yeah, He-Man would be very cool. Imagine like all of the opportunities for different art styles, like the old school He-Man cartoon art style.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have fan art. You could have like hyper realistic. I always imagine like what's the fantasy artist that did Conan? Franz for Jeddah or whatever his name is.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool stuff. Yeah. Cool stuff. So
And say what you want, but He-Man would be the coolest Magic the Gathering crossover.
besides Lord of the Rings,
Because it's all there already. Like, it's got all, like, the space and the science and the technology and the magic and
the high fantasy elements,
the ridiculously over-the-top everything. There's a mountain that's shaped like a snake,
and a mountain that's shaped like a skull.
right? Like, it's insane. It's already designed to just catch people's eyeballs and hold them there.
Yeah.
And that's what it was for. It was like some little old man's like, we want to do something that's going to be bigger and tougher and beat the crap out of every other toy line. And then it did, until it didn't, because they all got high and decided that an elephant head guy that shot water out of his nose named Hose Nose would be the thing to do
Hose
that
Nose.
week, right?
Hose nose, yeah. Don't Google that.
And then they went from making like $4 billion a year to making no $1 billion a year. And that was not good. Yeah.
So, okay, you had another thing that you wanted to touch on real quick, and it was something about Universes Beyond, like every second set.
They're saying they're going to go 50-50 Universes Beyond going forward. Like, until further notice, we're going to get 6 sets a year, 3 Magic, 3 Universes Beyond.
And is that full sets, or is that crossovers? Is that like
I took
like
that-
Doctor Who and Warhammer style, where it's just precons and here's this IP to capture these players?
From what I read, they're sets. Much like Final Fantasy, much like Spider-Man, much like X-Men Avengers will be. Now, my thought is, Are they gonna run out of IPs? Like, we talked about it last week a little bit with SpongeBob. Like, are they kind of stretching with SpongeBob a little bit? And yes, they are. But whatever, that's a secret there.
That's it's going to be like 5 cards.
But when your next 2 months of sales are going to be predicated on the popularity of the IP that you bring in and staple on top of your Magic set, if that month's billboard isn't as popular as a Final Fantasy or a Marvel Comics, like,
it's a little bit of a fallacy to think that way, that it's
yeah.
predicated on the popularity of an IP. They can skirt around that by just making ridiculously powerful cards.
yes.
And is that the right answer?
The cards are too good, we have to buy it now.
Exactly.
But like, because we've seen the ones that kind of have, I wouldn't say flopped, but didn't perform probably the way that they wanted to. I'm thinking Assassin's Creed, right? Maybe even Doctor Who, because you always see Doctor Who. There's lots of it available at cons and stuff. And when you go to kind of like the bigger stores around, you can usually still buy Doctor Who stuff. So, like, what if that happens with a premier set? Like, your 2 months of your new packs that you want moving in. Like, what if people don't want to do Friends Draft?
Oh.
You know what I mean? And I can't even really think of another IP that you'd bring in that you can do a whole set of off the top of my head right this second. Like, what, fucking McDonald's Land?
Aliens versus Predator.
Could
You
you do a whole set from that? You probably could.
Yeah,
there's a whole mythos.
Yeah.
There's books
Alien,
and comics.
Predator, the history and different worlds, right? Where do they come from? How do people interact with them, right? Like, there's 3 different races of characters right off the bat there, right? Yep. And then what color do those people or those characters or those races fall into? And is there good guys and bad guys amongst those races that maybe, like, there's good humans and bad humans? You could color them accordingly, according to Magic's color system. And you definitely could with that one.
So there's 2. So that's not quite next year.
You mentioned Care Bears last week.
Yep,
I
Care Bears.
don't think that we're going to see that.
We're not, but I will. Maybe we will.
Well, and here's the other thing.
But let's say when Magic Horizons or Foundations, when it cycles out finally in 2029, at that time, maybe we are going to see things like Care Bears and Doug and Who's the Boss.
Well,
because they're just
Home
running
Improvement
out of
with Tim Allen,
right? Like Saturday, like I would love to see a Saturday morning cartoon.
Here's what
show,
I was going to
like,
say is, okay, we've already opened the door to Nickelodeon with SpongeBob. Who's to say that we're not going to get Goosebumps, Are You Afraid of the Dark, The Loud House, Ren and Stimpy? We're not going to get Ren and Stimpy, but Ninja Turtles, right? Like, what if there is, sort of like Marvel is doing, but instead of breaking it down, Spider-Man, Wolverine, X-Men, blah, 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 what if it's just like Nickelodeon, the set, and you've got a bunch of like pockets of product where it's like, okay, here's the Saturday morning, like we got the Villains Doctor Who pre-con. What if there is the Saturday morning cartoons from the 90s? Or like, here's the all grown up versions of the Loud House and Rugrats and Doug, right? Like, here's modern take on them. Here's, like,
the possibilities are limitless.
There.
But like, do you think that we're going to run into that situation where they're going to have like these really divisive ones, or just ones that are shitty and nobody cares about, and people are like just begging, just give us these cards with Magic art on them. They're already saying that. People are already saying that, and this hasn't even happened yet. We haven't even seen this yet.
You mean you don't want to fight Gimli and Optimus Prime together?
Well, I have done that. Like, we have done that.
You are the guy that would have done that, yeah.
Yes, but like, do you think we're going to hit a point where even you and I are like, man, like, I so don't give a shit about this IP. I like the words on this card. So your good friend Ryan's business is going to go through the ceiling because everybody just wants their Professor Plum to not look like a fat guy that sits at a desk. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day,
we've already had Clue, so we know we're not going to run into that. And Professor Plum looks like Samuel L. Jackson.
We'll get Monopoly. We'll get Hasbro board games. There's another one.
No, there's another one.
That you just get pockets of pre-cons or just jumpstart packs, like jumpstart packs categorized as board games, right? Like the 20 card jumpstart packs that you mix together. You get Clue and Monopoly and whatever, Trouble and whatever else they have.
You know what would be cool there is when you open the pack and you open the wrapper and then it's got the wrapper with the face card that's like, it says Goblins and then a little red symbol. And except it's just the cover of the board game box.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That would be neat.
That's a good idea.
Well, that'd be fun. And those cards would be cool. Like you could collect those, right? You could have the ones with the little signatures on them or date stamped ones.
Yep.
If I want to check in the mail, Wizards, if that is a thing you're going to do.
No. They'll deny that they even ever listened.
They do.
Because we said the F word. At the end of the day, it is about money, and of course it is. And compared to the population of the world, Magic players are the minority.
Yes.
So what they're doing is reaching their arms out into all these different IPs to get people that don't currently spend money on Magic to come in and spend money on Magic. And you know what? Like, is it healthy for the game? It depends on how you define health, right? If you want new players to always come in so there's never like a decline in the Magic player base, then yeah, it's healthy. Is it more products spending or flying off shelves and LGS owners making money? Then yeah, it's healthy. Does it trend Magic away from that classical high fantasy genre that we have come to know and love it for? Well, yeah, then it's unhealthy because we're getting Predator versus Optimus Prime versus Gimli versus,
Tommy from Rugrats.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe that's cool. Maybe it's not. I don't know. That's in the eye of the beholder. I just thought of another one. WWE. That'd be a good crossover.
That'd be fun.
Even producer Gary'd like that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
I think that would be a good time. I just don't. I'm interested to see where it goes. And these next few, like the two that are here, I'm into this. I'm a Final Fantasy guy. We've talked about that. I'm on record as saying that. I think that'll be cool. But
and think of other video game franchises. I know that Assassin's Creed didn't do very good, but what about Borderlands? What about Halo? There's a good one. There's like a classic game that everybody knows, right? Master Chief, especially after the show. I know the show on Paramount Plus. It was canceled after 2 seasons. I didn't see it, blah, blah, blah. But Fallout did good. Halo is arguably more recognizable than Fallout. I bet you we see a Halo one in the next year or two.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see how that goes. Like I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm open to it. But man, I'm because again they've already had some like B tier Secret Lairs come in. It's like, oh man.
And maybe they learn from those.
Yeah. And if the companies that they want don't want to spend money advertising in Magic the Gathering, which is what this is, maybe we're gonna get some C tier stuff, or we're gonna see some F tier stuff that just has lots of money behind it.
I got another one. B movies. Just terrible mosquitoes.
Yes.
Or terrible mosquitoes.
No.
The Mosquito, the movie.
That's probably a movie. Terrible Mosquitoes? Probably is.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, give me an Ernest P. Worrell Secret Lair. Come on. Yes. Okay. That's my final thought. Ernest Secret Lair or bust.
Yes.
464. Talking about foundations tomorrow, actually.
Yep.
Hit our theme song.
Brr-brr.
Bye-bye.